Okay, so I'm gonna freestyle this video. I actually had a script, but forget that. This is how you win Nofap. I used to always struggle with Nofap, and I struggled this addiction for years. And I would always research about it, I would obsess over it. I was like, what can I do to defeat this? What can I do to finally win? What can I do to finally quit? If I quit, everything is gonna be perfect. If I quit, I'm gonna live the perfect life that I dream of. That's what I was thinking. And I constantly failed because of that. I got onto day 4, then I failed. I got onto day 3, then I failed. I got onto day 11, then I failed. I got into day 14, and then I failed. Then it just kept being on day 3, day 4, day 3, day 5. That's it. Now, if you're like one of the OGs of self-improvements, you already know what I'm talking about. You actually realize what was the mistake in here. Did you realize what was my mistake? My mistake was obsessing over this. I should have literally done the exact opposite of this. Because I obsessed over this, I didn't improve other areas of my life. I didn't give that like much focus. I gave my fully main focus to this. And I didn't bother even try to improve the other aspects of my life, which were actually gonna make my life move forward. Because every time I relapsed, let's say I did it until the day 4, okay? After I did it until day 4, then I relapsed. I was thinking like, okay, man, fuck this. There's nothing worse than me. I'm so stupid. It's been years and I'm battling with this addiction and I relapse on day 4. How pathetic that is. Now I have to wait. Now I have to wait until 4 days just to feel like a human being again. That's literally how stupid and retarded that I thought. I thought every single time I relapsed, I deleted all of the progress that I made. That's what I thought. And it was so stupid and it just wasted so much of my time, so much of my days. I literally wasted months and years because of this. I didn't realize it until later when I saw self-improvement videos and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna forget about Nofap. I'm just gonna improve all other areas of my life. I'm just gonna shut my brain off and do what these self-improvement YouTubers say. They say I should meditate, they say I should exercise, they say I should talk to people, they say I should study, they say I should read books. So I was like, I'm gonna do all of these. I'm gonna improve myself. I don't care about anything else. And then I started doing it. And you know what happened? I started getting successful at Nofap more and more. I was actually relapsing way later. I was actually relapsing way more rarely. Right now, 3 or 4 days is literally nothing for me. I can go on for way longer periods of time because of that. Because I realized in order to defeat an addiction, you have to change the way you live. You have to change everything in your life so that you don't need the addiction, so that you don't want to do that. Because why do we fap, okay? Why do we fap? Because we're so lonely, because we're not at the where we want to be, because our lives are just not as good as we want to be. That's why we fap. We are missing the girlfriend in our lives that we want to deeply connect, that we want to share our dreams, that we want to love unconditionally and want them to love us back unconditionally as well. We don't live the lives that we want to. We're kind of a loser. Like if you're struggling with this addiction, you're kind of a loser and you're not at the where you want to be at yet. But when you actually start improving your life, when you actually start getting better at every aspect that actually matters for you, when you start talking to people, when you start exercising, when you start reading, when you start meditating, when you start improving your mental health, when you start improving your physical health and your looks, when you start like improving your social skills and start to have some connections with people, this becomes less and less more important. When you're alone at your room, you can actually be proud and say that I'm living a good life. I don't need to do this. I don't yearn for deep connection. Because unlike the way you think about yourself, you're not actually this monster who just wants lust and nothing else. That's not true. You want a deep connection. You want to be with a woman that you really love, that you really adore, that you think is super gorgeous and beautiful. And maybe you want some chicks on the side, but that's another subject. But because you don't have a deep connection in your life, because you cannot get the goals that you want, you do this addiction. So what you need to do is just sit down and think about what do you want from this life? What do you want to achieve? What are your goals? What do you really desire? Think about this stuff. And when you actually find the answer, or it will be better if you don't even need to think about it. When you have the answer to these questions, when you know what your goal in life should be, when you know what you really want. You can think about your end goal and that's cool, but that's not the only thing I mean. I mean like these small goals as well. Do you really desire a big social circle where all of you like love each other and are very good friends? Do you really desire a girlfriend? Do you really desire a great job? Just think about what you want. And when you finally decide on that, you need to improve your life in almost every aspect that you can. And you have to start very slowly. Do you want to meditate? Start slowly. Start for a couple seconds. Do you want to exercise? Start doing one set, just one set every day. Do you want to read books? Literally read one sentence every day until you can gradually improve with time. You need to change the way you live. And when you change the way you live, you start to live more healthier way. When you start to live your life in a healthy way, your brain starts to remove the triggers that are like drive you to do this. You will still feel some triggers, but you will actually be more able to control them, and they will actually become less and less powerful. When you start to improve all areas of your life and you become this like self-improvement guy and your identity starts to settle in this, you will start to think like, I'm not a guy who tries to quit on Nofap. I'm already a guy who doesn't fap. I'm already a guy who doesn't eat junk food. I'm already a guy who doesn't play video games. You don't think of yourself as the guy who's trying to quit this bad addiction, whichever addiction, it doesn't matter. You're thinking of yourself as this person who already doesn't do it. When you make that your identity, everything becomes better, everything becomes clearer, and everything becomes easier. And you start to get stronger as well. So let's say you found a self-improvement YouTuber and you start to like watch his videos more and more. You start to feel like you belong in this certain community. And when you feel like you belong in a certain community, you feel less and less lonelier. And you can do more and more, you can do better. So when you have a community like that, everything becomes easier as well. So in summary, this is how you win Nofap. Have a purpose in your life. Start improving your life in all aspects. Get on a self-improvement journey. Work towards your goals. Work towards your dream. Reframe your mindset. Don't think that you're someone who's trying to quit. Think that you're somebody who already doesn't do this addiction. And think that you are this self-improvement guy. So when you do this, you change your environment. You change the way you live. And when you do these things, you don't even want to do it anymore. You want to go towards your dreams. You want to achieve your dreams. You want to improve your life so that you can really, really achieve what you want. Whether it's a good girlfriend, a big social circle, a good job, a good body, a good everything. It doesn't matter. You need to obsess over your goals and you need to obsess over your self-improvement journey.